you can almost move every bad contract. The Chris Paul one's rough. I don't know how they got rid of it. Oklahoma City rolled the dice on it, got a bunch of draft picks to swallow it. And I don't know. That's I think, listen, Oklahoma City, they're gambling that they've got so many draft picks that somebody will eat it. I look at these three teams, Houston, Washington, and Oklahoma City, and I think there's a ceiling on how good you can get based on those contracts. Cameron Jordan, can't wait to talk to him. Great pass rusher in the NFL, great player, 4-time Pro Bowler. He's a top 15 guy in the NFL. He's around the corner. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Think about this. Think how old Chris Paul is. You know how you think Andrew Bogut's like a dinosaur? Chris Paul and Andrew Bogut came out the same year. That shows you how Chris Paul's been around a long time.
He has been around
So
a
he's
long time.
old, expensive, hurt, and hard to play with.
I do think he'd be very valuable with the right team. But I just wouldn't put him in a position where, like, he has to be.
If I had an old team and I'm like, I need draft picks, and you just go to Oklahoma City and say, listen, I see your draft picks. I want 5 first-round picks. There's got to be a team out there in the league that's, hey, listen, to get it off the books, by the way, you'd still have 10.
Yeah, they do have a lot. They have a lot. So Melvin Gordon might not be the only running back holding out for a new deal. According to Pro Football Talk, Ezekiel Elliott might join him. Per a league source, Elliott has privately said that he will hold out of training camp unless he gets a new contract. The Cowboys haven't focused on giving Elliott a new contract largely because they don't have to. They have instead focused on players with more immediate paths to free agency, from DeMarcus Lawrence, who has signed, to Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, who haven't.
Wow.
Dak and Amari are due to become free agents next year. Zeke still has 2 years remaining on his rookie deal, and first-round selections are subject to a 5th-year option. So he's due to make a salary of $3.85 million this year and $9.09 million in 2020. So he's most likely looking for $10 million a year.
Wow.
But this could make things very interesting for the Cowboys this year if this ends up happening.
This is not great for them. This is not great for them.
Especially considering that you're kind of trying to figure out what you're going to do with Dak.
If you pay Zeke early, what's the message to Dak? You pay the running back early, but not Dak?
Well, I mean, I think...
Yikes.
It's very interesting that Zeke if this happens, that Zeke is doing it at this point, especially considering Zeke's history.
And he's been in trouble recently. You think he'd cool it, right?
Right. I don't know.
Wow, that is not... You know, I talked to an NFL general manager in the last 3 days. He said there are analytics in this league, and there are teams that believe in this league you never give a running back a second contract. It's just a position that's just, you give them the first contract for 4 years, then you move them instead of pay them. There are analytics some subscribe to that's outside, and this GM said to me, there's about 2 exceptions. And he was probably talking about Melvin Gordon and Zeke.
Well, yeah, I mean, Zeke is that exception. Zeke is the best or top 3 running backs in the league. Regardless of his history, you have to pay him. It's just interesting that it's happening right now, especially, and unfortunate, really, considering the fact that you want to pay Dak whatever you want to pay him, whether you want to pay him the most money or work out a deal with him, and you have to pay Amari too. So could be trouble ahead for the Cowboys. So there are only 3 players in NBA history with a career PER, player efficiency rating, above 27. The Lakers have 2 of 3 of those players on the roster right now, and LeBron and Anthony Davis. And in an interview with CBS Sports' Jim Hill, AD said neither him or LeBron have played with the caliber of player this high before. This comes from KCBS Los Angeles.
I think that I'm a very special player. You know, I feel like I can do it all. Shoot a 3, I can shoot the mid-range. You know, defend, I take pride in defense. You know, I like to talk on defense, like the lead. And I think that I haven't played with a player like LeBron. LeBron haven't played with a player like me before.
It's kind of interesting situation with AD and LeBron because, as we've talked about many times, there's kind of an inevitable thing that happens when LeBron plays with bigs. At least we've seen it with Chris Bosh and Kevin Love.
Where'd you go?
But in those situations, LeBron played with a dominant two in Wade and Kyrie Irving. He doesn't really have that with the Lakers. Now, we all think that Kuzma is going to take a step up, and he was good and solid last year and has shown growth, but neither one of us think he's on the level of Wade or Kyrie when LeBron was on those teams.
I think Anthony's better.
But I'm saying, yes, Anthony Davis is better than Chris Bosh and Kevin Love.
Yes.
But he's also not in the same situation and the same team setup as LeBron was with the Heat, where it was LeBron, Wade, then Bosh, and then LeBron, Kyrie, then Kevin Love. It's LeBron, AD, and then Kuzma. So how is that dynamic going to change? I think LeBron will make it work. I think it'll be really spectacular. My guess is it'll work really well for that reason. LeBron's older. Well, yeah, and LeBron is I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts his game as well, because he is older and he's coming off his first major injury. I don't know. They're going to be fun to watch this year. So finally, everyone is trying to figure out how James Harden and Russell Westbrook are going to fit together. Speaking of fit, Harden obviously needs help. They both need a championship. How are they going to make it work? One rival executive chimed in and told Bleacher Report the problem is they both need the ball in their hands, so it's the same problem they had before. But to me, Russ is an upgrade over Chris. You have a triple-double guy who's younger and who can rebound better. The only difference is Chris shoots the three ball better. Which in Houston is everything, right? That's all they do. Well, how's that worked out for you, Houston? I really want to see what kind of roles and adjustments D'Antoni makes to make this all work. Now, I know everyone's going to say it's on Harden and and Russell Westbrook to adjust their game, and it is. But I think they are also both aware of their game. They don't have to work on their relationship because they obviously are already friends and have maintained a relationship and want to play together and know what's at stake. But all of the other X Factor players and we shoot the three ball and all the analytics, that's gotten you to the playoffs and you've had an exciting regular season, and it's not won you a championship. So there are going to be some adjustments that need to be made by everyone, not just Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Agree. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
It's one of the great plays.